What do the countries of Sangala, Equatorial Kundu, and Wakanda all have in common? They're completely made up. Turns out this happens a lot.
Politically impossible right now. I can't go into why.
You need access to Kurkistan's airspace in case you want to attack East Sudan.
Neither East Sudan nor Kurkistan are real countries. So how and why do shows just make up countries instead of using the ones that already exist? If you've seen 24, you might be familiar with the nation of Sangala.
Survivors in the African nation of Sangala believe American intervention is necessary to prevent further bloodshed.
Or the Islamic Republic of KAMISTAN.
In fact, there are already street demonstrations taking place in KAMISTAN in support of Dahlia.
Again, neither exist. To figure out why they're in 24, I asked the man who, well, created them, Howard Gordon.
The main benefit of using a fictional country is certainly not to invite unfavorable comparisons and comments that are potentially incendiary, in an already sensitive world. The last thing I think anybody on a TV show wants to do is create an international incident.
Unsurprisingly, countries care about how they're depicted in TV and movies, and that's something showrunners worry about. That's why something as mundane as this...
Tomas Sherik, who is he?
He's done work with several terror cells outside Istanbul, suspected of coordinating several suicide bombings last summer.
Can turn into an angry letter from the Turkish embassy, which Howard says the show received. More recently, the Philippine government criticized the CBS show Madam Secretary for how it depicted the fictional Filipino president.
Even the smallest mention of a country can precipitate this, very, very strong letter. Because I guess the power of television is such that people don't want, and countries don't want themselves misrepresented geographically or geopolitically in a way that doesn't reflect well on them, and I completely understand that.
Fictional countries can be useful when a show wants to advance a particular storyline without offending a real country. Something like, say, the death of a princess in a royal family who's definitely not British, or a fictional genocide in Africa. And while invented country names might confuse someone with a well-rounded geographic knowledge, survey after survey shows most Americans can't find real nations, like Ukraine, North Korea, Iraq, or Afghanistan, on world maps anyway. On top of that, those who can't locate nations on maps are more likely to favor military action over diplomacy, which might be why a 2015 poll found 30% of Republicans and 19% of Democrats supported bombing Agrabah, the fictional nation that's home to Disney's Aladdin. As for how fake countries get their names, that can sometimes be less than scientific.
KAMISTAN, my wife is Kami, so I named a country after her in that case, which was, the least I could do considering she didn't see me for most of that year because I was working on the show.